On this shit. How's everybody doing tonight, ladies and gentlemen? Not a lot of stuff to talk about. Just gonna have to do like a bunch of previews for for the NFL and college because oh my lord, wow. Man, basketball. We're gonna talk about mostly football, guys. Anyways, so let's preview the first. We're going to preview the college games. Indiana takes on Ohio State for the Big Ten championship. I'm going to go with Ohio State, that defense. I think, obviously the coach has experience. Some of the players were there last year from the national championship. I'm going to go with Ohio State. It might be a close game, maybe the first three quarters, but then like probably the last 10 minutes or so, Ohio State takes over this game maybe by 14, 20 points, and they win it, man. But it could be close the first three quarters. Indiana's a good football team. They probably have the best quarterback in the country, and Fernando Mendoza. So they could keep it close for a little bit, but then eventually I think Ohio State will take over. Next game, Alabama, Georgia. A lot of people think that Alabama can win this game. The line keeps going down. I think it's down to like one point for Georgia. I think now in the past Alabama has had success versus Georgia, but that was when Nick Saban was there, right? Now it's Kalen DeBoer. I don't know, man. It would be a huge win for Alabama, especially what happened at the start of the season, how they got their butts kicked versus Florida State, and everybody thought they were finished. And now, if they finish with beating Georgia and winning the SEC championship, it would be a huge win. This game, because the other game is 1-2, this one is 3-9. I think most people think that more of the 9 seed Alabama could beat the 3 seed Georgia than the 2 upsetting the 1. So we'll see. I'm going to go with Georgia. But I think a lot of people do think Alabama can win this game. We'll see what happens. But I got Georgia. I got Georgia winning. All right, NFL. Jets, Miami. It's in New York. And remember, Tua Tagovailoa does struggle in the cold weather. I think talent-wise, Miami has a better team, but because of the weather situation, I wouldn't be surprised if Jets win this game, honestly, man. Baltimore, Pittsburgh. I'm going to go with Baltimore. I think they're pissed off about what happened last week versus Cincinnati. I think they're going to take out their frustration on Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh defense is really bad this year. Offensively, they might be falling apart. Aaron Rodgers trying to get hurt a lot. He's trying to get beat up. I think he's playing with a broken wrist and a broken nose. I'm going to go with Baltimore to redeem themselves after what happened last week versus Cincinnati. New Orleans, Tampa Bay. I'm going to go with Tampa Bay. Indianapolis, Jacksonville. I'm going to go with Jacksonville might win this game. Doesn't Indianapolis always struggle reading Jacksonville at home? And Jacksonville's actually playing good this year. They're both 8-4. So basically, the winner of the team will go to first place in the AFC South. I'm going to go with Jacksonville. Tennessee, Cleveland. I'm going to go with Cleveland at home. Washington, Minnesota. I'm going to go with Washington. Jane Daniels is going to get activated in this game off being hurt. Seattle, Atlanta. I'm going to go with Seattle. Buffalo, this could be a fun game. I'm going to take Buffalo, but it could be a fun game, high-scoring game between Joe Barry and Josh Allen. Denver, Las Vegas, I'm going to take Denver. Chicago, Green Bay, I'm going to take Green Bay. I'm going to go off last week. One team beat Detroit, the other one beat Philadelphia. Who's playing better football right now? Detroit. So I think the Green Bay win was more impressive than Chicago beating Philadelphia, I don't know what's going on with them. They can't seem to figure anything out this year. They have a very elementary vanilla offense going on over there. Plus, they got injuries. I'm going to go with Green Bay. Um, LA Rams, Arizona. I'm gonna go with the LA Rams. Houston, Kansas City. I'm gonna go with Kansas City. They have to, right? They have to. They have to, man. Um, so give me Kansas City. I think if they lose this one, it's over, man. They would be 6-7 if they lose this week. Houston's on a heater though. Houston was 0-3, and now they're 7-5. They're playing really good football. That defense is really good. So they're very definitely capable of winning this game. Philadelphia Chargers. They're both 8-4. Both have injuries. Eagles have injuries. They're one of their best offensive linemen, Lane Johnson's not playing. Their best defensive lineman, Jalen Carter's not playing. The Chargers also have a bunch of injuries on the line of offensive line. Justin Herbert might not play. A lot of people are saying that they play Kansas City next week. And by this time, we're going to know what happened. Did Kansas City beat Houston or not? And a lot of people are saying that if Kansas City beats Houston, that they might because I think if Kansas City wins, it'll be 6-7. No, excuse me. They would be 7-6 if Kansas City wins. And then the Chargers, they play Kansas City the next week. So they're saying that they could save Herbert for the following game and sit him out this week. But if Kansas City wins, they don't know what they're gonna do with Justin Herbert. But they do play Kansas City the following week. So I don't know. A lot of people are saying that because this is a non-conference game, they might just sit out Herbert and save him for next week versus Kansas City. I don't know, man. I think if that happens, obviously Eagles are gonna win. If Herbert plays, I guess the Chargers have a chance for sure. But both teams are pretty beat up. They're really beat up. This could be another ugly Philadelphia Eagles scheme, especially if Justin Herbert does not play. It really could. Really not much else. Wrestling, there's a bunch of interviews going around. John Cena's going like an interview tour right now, because it's pretty much his last week. He's scheduled to retire next Saturday. So I think he did an interview with Joe Rogan, Phil Simmons, he's doing a bunch of stuff right now. It's John Cena. I think he did one with Joe Rogan as well, and Jimmy Kimmel. Nick Khan is also doing a lot of interviews lately. He was on McAfee. He's doing a lot of stuff. He did Impulsive. So a bunch of stuff going around. And John Cena pretty much said he did say a few stuff. One, he said that he wishes Vince McMahon would have never left. He thinks the company would be better with Vince McMahon. He says hopefully in the future, time heals everything and he can come back some way. We'll see what happens. And then what else? He was pretty much talking about his heel run, how he says, I think it would have taken up to a year, maybe even longer, to really get a good feel for the heel run. We just simply did not have time. He was kind of criticizing it, but then once Simmons started saying, so it sounds like you regret it, he kind of backpedaled. And he said, no, I thought it was good. Nothing is perfect in life. So I thought it was good for whatever it was. You know how John Cena is. He never likes to throw anybody under the car. He's always very respectful and humble. So as soon as Phil Simmons said, it sounds like you regret turning heel. He's like, no. So, but he was kind of sounding like he thought that they just didn't have enough. He thought he was sounding like it didn't make sense to turn heel with only like less than a year left on his career. But then once Simmons told him that, he kind of backtracked. Anyways, Nick Khan, I think he said something about I think I'm gonna go watch the Nick Khan interview. I watched the McAfee one, but they were also talking more about boxing. They're gonna launch a boxing promotion now with TKO and UFC and Dana White, led by all of them, and Nick Khan. And so this one with Impulsive should be a little bit more in depth about WWE, more solely about this. I'm gonna go watch it. Basketball. Watch the Lakers and Celtics. Um, no Luka, no LeBron. Guys, I'm sorry, but basketball can be a turnoff in the regular season with the amount of sitting players do. Like you don't see this in baseball. You don't see this in football. It's a huge turnoff. It really is. The amount of sitting, like, oh my lord, like I couldn't believe it. I don't. Neither of them are hurt. Luke, I think, is taking like family, personal time off, and LeBron, I think, was just load managing. It's like, come on, man. A Celtics game on prime time. I think didn't the Cleveland get a fine for sitting out Darius Garland in a primetime game? Oh my lord. Same thing, he was just load managing. It's it is why it can be kind of tough to watch the NBA sometimes and the regular season. The NBA, man, it is gonna really, like, if they don't be careful, it's gonna become a playoff sport. Like nobody's gonna give a shit about the regular season, man. It is starting to get to that point where I'm thinking about just watching college or hockey, and then just start watching like around once the playoffs start, because the amount of load managing is ridiculous, man, in the NBA, man. Like seriously, man. Like baseball's a longer season and they actually play. Obviously in football they always play, but the amount of load managing going on in the NBA, it is such a, oh my lord. It is incredible, ladies. It's so tough. You know, you look at the East and outside of the Knicks, maybe Detroit, nobody's even that interesting. Indiana doesn't have their best player. Celtics don't have their best player. Philadelphia's always has somebody hurt. It's like, do I even want to watch the East outside of like the Detroit and New York this year? Honestly, it's a waste of time. It's like, seriously. Tonight I was super excited. Friday night, Lakers Celtics. Luka's not playing. LeBron's not playing. Jason Tatum is not playing. Come on, man. I think the Celtics were up by like 30 something points at one point. It's just, come on, man. Like seriously, man. I don't know, man. Hopefully NBA gets a little bit better, but right now NBA just looks kind of flat to me, honestly. I'm definitely more focused on football season right now, for sure, and that's on the big daddy, not the little one. Um, but yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we will be back tomorrow. Kind of made a chicken cheddar, chicken salad. Not much talking about, honestly. You know, thank God some of the interviews that John Cena and Nick kind of have been doing this. We kind of saved the show a little bit. Not a lot of news. And then that little basketball rant at the end. Other than that, not much going on tonight. I will be back tomorrow. But yeah, have a good night, everybody. Holla.